There we go. And I'm going to turn the controls over to you, Daine. Thank you for being
Okay,
here.
great. Yes, can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, how do I erase this thing? Let's see. Let's maybe do this. All right. Hello, everybody, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity to share with you guys today. So I was thinking last night about what I should share, and I really want to share a concept that I learned a little while back on how to get what you want. And now hold on. There's a whole bunch of trainings on this kind of stuff. So before you tune out, I think you're going to really like the spin on what I've really studied. I've spent thousands of dollars to learn this stuff, and I can tell you that it works. So the first thing that I really started implementing to get what I want was obviously the knowledge and learning about real estate and the education, that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about how you really bring the desires that you want, the reason that you joined Renatus, to fruition in a system that I learned that how do I say that you can channel all of your energy towards. So the first thing that I started doing when I joined Renatus, I remember just looking at myself and my current situation, thinking, okay, here I am. Here's everything that I've done in my life that I'm proud of. Like I did have a brand new car. It was, I was actually proud of this thing. It was a Hyundai, and you might laugh, yay, but I averaged buying a brand new car every single year, and I think the most I had ever made in a month was like $6,000 or $7,000 in a month, if I remember right. And the list goes on. So uh, start with all the things that you have accomplished in your life. And what's cool is our brains have this natural tendency to, let me see if I can zoom here. Oh, I might run out of room if I can't. So our brains have this natural tendency to have a scale from real to fake when we look at different things in the world. And it's cool because you look at all these things that you've done in your life, and your brain naturally says, oh yeah, this is real. We've done this before. I have felt making $7,000 in a month before in my life. I have felt, what it's like to drive a brand new, cheaper vehicle, or I felt what it's like to live in a house. For me, I never owned a house before I joined Renatus. I had never purchased a house in my life, but so I didn't know what that felt like, but I'm just kind of giving some examples here. Now, when I joined Renatus, I obviously wanted to upgrade my lifestyle. Excuse me. I did want to drive a nicer car. I did want to have my own home. And excuse me, sorry. And I did want to start making more money in my life. That $7,000 a month I had done like one time in my life. I was not averaging that. And I can't remember, I had worked literally to the bone for hours, probably 60 to 70 hour weeks to make that 7 grand in a month. And I had just done it once, and I told myself, you know what, that probably wasn't worth it. So when I joined Renatus, I figured, hey, if I can have a $10,000 a month and blow anything out of the water without having to work as hard as I did to make the seven, then great. If I can, I had all kinds of different things that I wanted. I did want to buy a house that was a little bit of a fixer-upper and get a discount. Like, I wanted to use my training that I had to buy my own personal residence from the things that I had learned here. So I wanted to, fix it up my way, if you will, with the house, and I wanted to have the money to be able to do that. So just when you're doing this in your life and you're thinking, okay, why am I really doing this? This is how you start creating your why of all the different things. Why did you join Renatus? What is it really going to get you? And don't say money. Don't just say, oh, I want to make this much money or that much money. Put things in there like vacation. I want to, and get specific. Vacation. Put things in there that you can take a picture of, because on that scale from real to fake, it also applies. I better not spell that wrong here. From real to fake, our brains naturally tend to put all these things into the fake category because we've never done it. Like, for example, one of the things that I really wanted was a Ford Raptor. Now that's a $85,000 vehicle. I'd never purchased something that large in my life. And naturally though, your brain tends to say, it goes through the five senses. And your brain tells yourself, well, you have never felt what it feels like to walk out to your garage and get into a Raptor and fire that thing up with that dual exhaust, the twin turbos, and drive that thing out of the garage and down the street. You've never seen what that looks like. You've never been able to hear what that sounds like. You've never, I don't know if you guys are into this, but you've never tasted that before, and you've never smelled that new leather smell. Basically going through those five senses. Our brains naturally tend to say, hey, well, you haven't sensed it, so therefore this is kind of fake. And the same thing with money. Like, you have never smelled what it smells like to make 10 grand in a month. or you've never seen what it looks like to look over the Alps into Chichen Itza, or I don't know, I'm not a big vacationer, so I'm just grabbing here, but your senses tend to tell you, hey, you can't do that because you've never done it before. You've never sensed that. Your body has never done that. So this is how I was able to take this, and let's see, I'm running out of room here. Let's change colors because we're going to get real messy here in just a second. So the things that you want in your life, you need to get those so specific that you could take a picture, or Google a picture and show it to somebody that satisfies that. Let's see, where's the see sense? So literally what I would do is I would take a picture of something that I wanted and literally print it physically, not just put a dream board or something like that, like on my background on my phone or my iPad or computer or whatever. I would physically print a picture. And here's the different thing, that when I learned this, it just blew my mind. When you take that picture and you have a few of them, like I had a car, I wanted to make $10,000 in a month. I wanted to buy a house, so I had all these different pictures of specific things that I wanted. I would take a sticky note and I would stick it to that physical picture. And I would have a little bit of handwriting on the sticky note of just like a brief thing. Oh, I want to make, $10,000 in a month. I want a Ford Raptor, the 2018 model that whatever. I want a house and I want it to be like this. And then here's the thing that blew my mind. I learned that I should put a date on that sticky note. And most people think, and this is what I thought, most people think that you should put the date of when you want to get this. And that's wrong, because that is just you're just waiting for some kind of punishment to tell your brain that that was fake. Because if you miss it, if you go past it, and your brain will even not allow you to get it sooner than you really wanted it. So when you do this, put today's date on that sticky note. The date that you stick it on the wall, put that date. So just as an example, when I really thought that I wanted to go get me a Raptor, I put, I think it was, let's see, August of 2017 that I really wanted to go get that. I printed this picture out and stuck it on the wall. I put, I think it was like the 10th of August or something like that on the sticky note, and I slapped it on the wall. And here's what you do to help bring this this scale from fake up to real. I pictured myself literally walking out to my garage, kind of like I mentioned before, and imagining what does it feel like to just open the garage door and look inside and to see a Raptor. And I get in and I start it up, and you hear that rumble of the twin turbos spooling up because it's the engine's cold, so the RPMs are a little high, and then I put it in gear and I drive to my meetings, and I go to I hit the mountains, and I take my family, and I created a story behind what it is that I want. And the story, I mean, let's go all, what's a famous writer? I don't know, Roald Dahl or J.K. Rowling. Let's get J.K. Rowling in on this thing. And you create a story that has all five senses. What does it feel like to make $10,000 in a month? Have you ever done that before? Maybe not, but what would it feel like? If you had a check for $10,000 in your hand, what would you go to? What would it feel like just to hold that and look at it? What would you see? If you had a check for $10,000, would you go into the bank with it to deposit it? Or would you do the drive-in? Probably not. If you're anything like me, you're going to go into the bank, and you're going to walk into that teller and smell that bank smell, and you're going to hold it in your hand, and you're going to walk up, and if you're a guy, you're going to be looking, okay, which teller is the cutest teller? I'm going to go for that one. You go for the young blonde or whatever, and you walk up and you picture yourself handing it to the teller, and what are you hearing? Other people are talking and kind of, and she says, hey, welcome to, whatever bank you bank with. But you create that story in your mind of, this is what it sounds like, smells like, tastes like, if you're into that, to make $10,000 in 1 month. And you bring your brain to change of whatever it is that you're going for, from fake to real. And then here's the second part. So you need to be looking at this thing every single day to remind yourself, because you guys know, whenever you work towards some kind of a goal, you're going to hit some kind of wall every single time. And there's two things that this wall represents. There's both an internal wall, and there's an external wall, external. External is easy. If you go for something and you don't hit it, you can quantify, why didn't I get that? But on the other hand, the internal, for most people, this is really what is blocking you from getting what you want. And it's that internal, and it's when your brain tells yourself, oh, we can't get this for whatever reason. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Whatever. This is how you overcome that internal. You have this stuff on the wall, literally. I would take, I put this stuff on my wall that represented the wall that I was backed up against of preventing me to get my goals. Because for whatever reason, if I didn't believe I could do it, I would go to the wall and say, okay, this is where I'm going. This is why I'm going here. And I create that story. Now, something's going to happen though when you do this. When you, let me change colors here again. When you go look at the wall and you're staring at this, there are things that will pop into your head. If you're a religious person, this is referred to as things like revelation. If you're not, this is just pulling ideas from the universe that come to you of what you need to do to get that. And the ideas that are going to come to your mind are going to come from a specific source. It's going to come from your current and your expanding knowledge. And this is cool because if you are watching your classes, if you are showing up to Thursday nights or Saturday Real Deal tours or any kind of a networking event like the intensive this last Saturday, if you are going to those things where there are people who are doing real estate, if you are watching classes from multimillionaires that are doing tons and tons of real estate, and you're expanding that knowledge, when you go back to the wall the next day and you have more knowledge on a certain topic, you're going to get ideas. And you're going to get a to-do list. Let me change colors again so we can kind of keep this a little bit clean. Let's do pink. You're going to get a to-do list that pops up in your mind of, this is what I need to do to go and get this. And it's going to come from the things that you learn, and you're going to put it together, and it's going to, and then it's going to happen. It is so crazy. Now, back to this really quick. I'm going to give you guys a couple things because I think I need to finish up at around 8:30. Is that right, Ron? Okay. So back to this, putting things on the wall. Let's see, who's not muted? Somebody's making noise. Oh, well. Okay, putting things on the wall. Get this so specific that you could literally Google a picture and put that on the wall. Now, there's an app. Let me move this up out of the way here really fast. There's an app called Free Prints. Download it. They're going to give you 10 literally free prints. After that, they make you pay a small shipping charge for their quote unquote free prints. But just for signing up and giving them your email, you'll literally get 10 free prints. I would recommend Googling the things that you really want, or if you already have a picture of it, whatever it is, and go and get those free prints and stick them on the wall. Don't do more than 9 at a time on the wall, but stick that there and make it so specific that you can create that story that brings your brain to realize, you know what, this can be real. I can do this. I have the training. I surround myself with people that are doing it all around me. I mean, how many, if you just go to a Thursday night in the meeting before, when John does the little Moses speech at the top of the stairs and introduces everybody, I mean, you could throw a quarter and I guarantee you'll hit somebody doing real estate. So you go to those things where people are doing that, and your brain will naturally start feeling this is real. Oh my gosh, this is real. I'm sure many of you have felt that before. And it's just that cycle. And you get more education, you get more ideas, and you go back to the things that you really want. You see that again, and you say, oh my gosh, I can channel my knowledge to get what I want through this real estate training and different ideas, and even selling combos. I mean, if that $10,000 in a month, if you want to sell a combo, if you want to get 5-star qualified so you can start making that $10,000 a month, put that on your board. That is a great thing to do, because because your brain will, like I said, that story, what does it sound like to become 5-star? What does it feel like to sell a combo to someone that you are going to change their life forever because of what they are going to do, or what they can do because of the knowledge that they receive? And you, again, just create that story, include the 5 senses, and make it specific. So download that app. They'll give you 10 free prints. They'll just mail it right to your house, not a dime out of pocket, and create that vision board. Do not forget to put today's date. Don't put some other date down in the future. Put today's, because you will surprise yourself. Oh, back to the Raptor thing. I put August 2017. I was picking up my Raptor on September 4th, just the next month. If you put today's date, you allow the universe to align with you and surprise you with how fast you can really get this stuff. I mean, just in the last couple of months, I've taken 4 or 5 different things off of my wall at home because I got them. And when that happens, what you need to do is take that picture and put it into a drawer, so you remember that this is now evidence. Because if you remember from my past life, I have evidence that I drove the Hyundai. I have evidence that I had one $7,000 month in my life. Now I have evidence of something that I thought was fake, Raptor. I mean, I've never bought a car that big. And when I put that up in August, the beginning of August, stuff just started coming my way. I got 2 phone calls, and I ended up purchasing 2 properties that both of them together make up 9 units. And I was able to get into both of those deals for an absolute steal. I mean, it was a bargain, and I was able to help the owner, and I was able to help the people who were in trouble, especially, which on one of those, it was the owner. And between those 2 different deals, I was able to generate over $3,000 a month in residual income. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, Raptor, that'll pay for the Raptor. I'm gonna go get it. My criteria, just personally, for, just to give you guys an idea of when I like to upgrade, my criteria is half. So if I start bringing in $3,000 a month, I'm willing to go and upgrade my lifestyle about half of that, close to $1,500 a month. So it's crazy. I just literally, like 2 weeks ago, put on my board that I wanted to start a wholesale company. And that, I put today's date, just like I practice what I preach. I put that date on there. Literally that evening, I got a call from somebody that said, "Hey, I need somebody who knows a little bit more about wholesaling. Like I've got a bunch of deals that come through the pipeline, but I don't have buyers. I don't have money. I don't have, I just don't have the idea." And they said, "Can you help me get this off the ground?" And I said, "Yes." And we've already wholesaled our first property, making over $10,000 in a wholesale fee. And it was literally like within 24 hours, the universe aligned with my goals, because I created that within my story of, this is what I'm going to do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I've gone a little bit over on time, but go get that app and you'll get all those free prints, and start putting what you really want up on the wall, and make it so specific that you could just, like I said, make that picture of it. And let's make this happen, guys. Let me know how I can help. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and feel free to jump on. I know I tried to go over this really quickly, and if you're watching me, this looks like a big mumbo jumbo, but any questions, we'll take that for the next minute or so, and then we'll wrap up.
Hey, this is Shelly. What's the name of that app again?
Free Prints. It has a butterfly on the logo, and it's like turquoise.
Thank you so much.
Yep, my pleasure.
Daine, Ron here. I just want to thank you. This is a new way of looking at my vision board, at accomplishing it. I had never thought of putting today's date on it. I think that is kind of a magic formula. Thank you.
My pleasure. Changed my life. All right, let's go ahead and finish off the training. Thank you guys all for coming. I hope you got something from that. Love you all. We'll see you guys on Thursday.